and welcome to another Justice live stream. So, it's always been one of my lifelong dreams to go to space. But even though Elon is trying his hardest, it's not really the easiest thing to do in real life. Luckily, that is where Kerbal Space Program steps in. So this week, I'm going to be taking charge of my own space station, or not my own space station, sorry, my own space program, and trying to launch a rocket to the moon. And this is actually a pretty big world that this game is in, to play around in. But for tonight, I'm just going to be trying to go here. The moon. Although for this planet it's the mun. Because this isn't actually Earth. This is a planet called Kerbin. So let's start trying to build a rocket so we can get into space. And I love all the music in the different menus. Like every menu has its own music. And I love that. So we gotta add in a little pod for our pilot to sit in. And we gotta have fuel to get up there. So let's throw on a whole bunch of fuel tanks. But most importantly, we need a parachute so that we can land safely. And so now, before we actually attach that, we gotta put in a little connector. Because one of the things with rockets is you don't want to keep hauling dead weight around with you in space. You want to be able to eject it off while you're out there once all the fuel is burned off and everything. We gotta add in stuff like that. And let's make this a big rocket. Let's put in a thruster first. And another connector. And we'll have that be its own little section. And then we'll start adding on even more fuel tanks. We want this thing to go high. Like, it's gotta break the atmosphere and everything. And that takes a lot of power, trying to break through the atmosphere. Keep adding fuel tanks, and I'm actually gonna do some copy and paste action. And let's add on our rockets. A little hard to see the bottom of my screen for that corner because of my camera. Alright, this is looking good so far, I gotta say. But I only want to use these rockets once I'm out of the atmosphere. Because with the liquid fuel rockets, they actually aren't as good in air. They're better in the vacuum of space. So I'm going to add on some things on the side here. And then I'm going to add some giant rockets on the side. And I have to say, for, I believe, a 10-year-old game, it doesn't look terrible. Ooh, that doesn't quite fit. Let me see. There's something I can add there. Will that work? Nope, that's too big. Alright, I think we're just gonna have to have some mini nose cones for that part. That's probably gonna affect our flight up. Now, another thing we have to do though is we have to make sure we add fins to the rocket. or else this thing is going to be flying all over the place and it's going to be impossible to control. Like as soon as I take off, it's just going to start tumbling over, flipping around basically, and as soon as the rockets start pointing down, it's over. When you're that close to the ground, you hit it real quick. Just give me 1 second, folks. I'm actually gonna pull this stream up on my phone real quick so I can have a better view of chat. Ooh, my volume's on. That's unfortunate. And okay, sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure if anyone came in and, you know, tried to give me any advice, did I say advice? Oh my goodness. Any advice on building rockets in this game and stuff, because, you know, this isn't going to be the most efficient rocket. This is just some of the ways, some of the ways I've learned to build rockets on this game. All right, so let's make sure that we actually have something to do while we're in space. Let's add some experiments. And I'm actually gonna disconnect the top right here real quick so I can add in a little science module. We can conduct some experiments while we're flying by the moon. Let's get some mystery goo container. Right there. Or actually, let's put it on the back. Ooh. And yeah, like I said, this is an 11-year-old game. So some of the things about it aren't going to be perfect. But something that is amazing, though, is the sequel is currently in progress. And hopefully it's going to be released next year. So I'm really looking forward to that. The team of the production team have released like some test footage and different things like that on YouTube, and it's looking pretty amazing. Let's see. Oh, there's my rocket. And actually, before we reconnect it, let's put like a heat shield on, because when you're entering back into the atmosphere, you've got a lot of heat hitting you from the friction with the air. Oh, I forgot one of the clunky things about this game is the order you click things to move things around is important. Make sure these fins are actually straight, because I think that will actually like make us have an unwanted rotation as we're flying in the air. I'm not sure if that's true, but I've had that problem in the past, and doing that has always helped. Oh, I forgot to turn the symmetry back on. So there's only one on the side. I have to make sure all three go around like that. Perfect. So we've got all of that. And you know what? This isn't looking big enough. Put that off to the side, and then I think I'm just gonna copy. I have to put these to the side too to do it properly. I'm just gonna copy like around here, put it down there. Put these on first, perfect, and then these thrusters. All right, that's looking like a good first attempt rocket for us to try and get to the moon. But the last thing we have to make sure before we hit launch, though, is that the order that things happen is all correct on the side here. So, and it goes from bottom to the top as it progresses. So we want to make sure the big ones go first, and then when that disconnects, those rockets start. That's perfect. Then when that disconnects, we want to make that rocket start, make them go at the same time. And then we don't want the parachute and the disconnect on the same thing. That would be really bad, because we'd pop our parachute in space and then it'd burn up on re-entry. Right, and let's just make sure we have the right crew member in here. And, oh, look who it is. It's our good friend Reggie, piloting the rocket for us. Hopefully, he makes it back safely and in one piece. It's extra motivation right there. But with the way I've set things up, even if we don't make our goal of the moon, I think he should at least survive. So let's get ready to launch. Oh, craft is too heavy. That's a bogus thing right there. I have to upgrade some, my launch pad, I think. Yeah, there we go. I built such a big rocket that, like, my launch pad can't take it. Excuse me, my launch pad can't take it. So, had to upgrade that bad boy. Now we're ready to launch. All right. And Reggie's a pretty good pilot, so he's got some autopilot sort of skills going on. So I don't have to worry about it going too out of control as it's flying. He'll try to sort of keep it on course for us. So, 3, 2, 1, launch. Oh, look at them wobble. Oh dear. Oh dear. I should have put some support struts on that. That's not good. But at least we're getting a turn to the left, which is a good thing, because it puts us over the ocean, and it sort of matches with the rotation of the planet in a way that makes it easier for us to escape orbit. And this is something that I believe NASA actually does themselves, which is why, like, they only launch the rockets from, like, very specific spots as well, I believe. Hopefully they don't blow up. That would be bad for poor Reggie. How much fuel do I have left in those? Oh, I have quite a bit of fuel. Ooh. This isn't great. We're spiraling. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, he's alive. He's hurtling down to Earth, I think. No, he still has upward momentum. Oh no. Oh, okay. No, he's gonna hopefully survive. Ooh, this is gonna be rough for poor old Reggie. Let's see what Reggie sees in this cockpit here. Oh. Oh, wow, that's awesome. You know, if we could have made it to orbit, I could have at least had Reggie hop out and do some science in space. But at least we figured out some things that we need to take account for in the rocket design. And, oh, whoops, I accidentally paused it. One of the nice things is you can actually speed up time in this game. You just have to be really careful that you don't go too fast if you have too big of a ship. Otherwise, it could, like, break, you know, because the physics sort of go slightly off in the higher speeds. But I wonder if that's something they're going to address in the sequel coming out in 2022. Oh, we've reached the top of our launch. We're starting to hurtle down. Oh dear. We're right over land. This is not gonna be fun for Reggie. Where does his orbit put on landing? Oh, yep. He's going to land. Take it out of the fast forward for a second. How high up are we? Okay, we're about to start re-entering the atmosphere. Ooh dear. So we've got to get in the heat shield in position. So, oh, right in time. Wow. So that Reginald does not cook alive in his little pod here. Oh, okay. I think he's gonna make it back alive. I'm about to pop the parachute. Part of the ship just crashed into the earth. I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah, I love this game. Like, this game is a lot of fun. And I really can't wait for the sequel coming out. We should be landing safely. Speed up time a little bit. Because once you get close to the planet, the speeding up of time, like, you can't speed it up as much. It's only like ×4 speed. When you're in space, you can get up to like times 10,000 speed. Because there's some super long distances you gotta travel. All right, we've returned Reggie alive. So thankful. I was worried there for a second when that rocket blew up. Like, that, we had an explosion going on. I got a bunch of science for recovering parts that went to space. Very nice. So let's come into here and try to fix some of the things that happened. Actually, one thing I'm seeing right now that those fins go straight into the side of those rockets, which is not ideal, to say the least. Get some struts on there, get it all connected up and stable. Oh, that didn't connect how I wanted it to. Perfect, okay. And then the other thing was, I think this had too much thrust. So let's put the thrust down on that. And maybe the fuel a little bit. Oh, you can only take out certain chunks. You know what, that should be fine. Make sure it's still Reggie in the cockpit. Yep. Sometimes they'll switch it up on you. I don't know if it's because like sometimes the astronauts have like a rest sort of cool down they need to do or what, but yeah. Sometimes I'll hop in there and it'll be a different astronaut than I had originally set, and that can be a little annoying, but it's not actually that big of a deal, especially once you get in the habit of checking it pretty frequently. Right. Into space we go. Oh yeah, we're a lot more stable now. We're not having that twist going on, not rolling around. And one of the tricky things about getting into orbit though is like with this whole left turn thing, you have to like slowly arch it as you go so that you can get like so halfway through you have to do like a 45-degree angle, and then you want to try and get your horizontal momentum that way, because once you get into space it's all about controlling the directions of your momentum. I'm getting a little off track here, but that's okay. If I have a little bit of a wonky orbit, I can correct that once I leave the atmosphere. We're getting pretty close to, luckily. Although we are overheating a bit. But we're getting close to break through the atmosphere. Shouldn't be a problem. I don't think we're gonna explode like we did last time. It's a little hard to control our trajectory though. Oh. There we go. everything like that has to do with the navigation when you're in space is that blue and orange ball there in the center of the bottom of the screen. That will have like all my my orbit directions and stuff like that. And I actually probably got to start going sideways. You can see me wiggling. Oh, that's hilarious. Just sort of wobbling around in space. Let's see what my path is looking like. Oh, we got to go sideways. Because we're wasting way too much energy trying to go up right now. You gotta basically expand, because you have to imagine like the circle continues in the bottom. You have to expand the circle out. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Oh my goodness. I just accidentally went to my next stage. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. You know what? I'm gonna forgive myself, and I'm gonna get what some may consider a little cheaty. But fuck it. Games are meant to be enjoyed, not slogged through. Unless you're into that, you know, that's valid too. There are plenty of games that are great for that. Because that was just rookie mistake right there. Rookie mistake. Something you got to be careful of this game. One wrong button, rookie mistake, and it throws off everything you're trying to do. But, I mean, at least it's not as bad as launching a real rocket in real life, where, you know, there's a lot that goes into that. A lot of planning and knowledge and dedication, and yeah, it's crazy. Like, just to imagine, like, the amount of effort. Especially like back in the day, like the moon landing and like the early space missions and stuff like that, man, that's phenomenal that humans were able to like achieve things like that. So without further ado, let's get launched into space. All right, not bad. You know, I got a bunch of science. I should have tried to unlock a bigger nose. Oh well. I gave myself my one retry, and that's it. So after this, anything goes wrong, that's it. It's going down. We're starting to get a little friction. You can see on the lines there. We're probably like way over thrusting on these rockets, but I feel like sometimes that's worth it just to be able to escape the atmosphere. Rotating a little bit. When we get further into space, once we're done with these rockets, I'm gonna try a little bit of a different tactic than I did last time. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that just happened. Guess I might as well just eject that. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's no way. But what I can do is I can go to the opposite direction. I'm gonna slow myself down. Let's see what this is doing. Okay, so yeah, that's bringing the top of our flight down a little bit, which will be a lot safer for Reggie. And we're going over the ocean right now, which is very nice. That means it'll be a much safer landing, especially because like you actually really want to avoid these steep returns. You want it to be like as wide of a circle as you possibly can coming in. And that gives you like the longest amount of time to be able to slow down to a safe speed. And we get near the top. I'll cut my thrusters once we're there. Actually, once we're close to it. This really goes to show how hard space travel is. Let's speed up the time, make this a little easier on ourselves. That's way fast. Might as well detach. There's no reason not to. It's not like we have any more need for thruster rockets anyway. Oh, the music suddenly stopped. That's unfortunate. Speed up time again. Oh. Watch it explode. No, it still hasn't exploded yet? Right over there. I think it's... there it went. Ooh, I'm going kind of quick. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, Reginald. I was too distracted by the falling rocket. Oh, Reginald. Alright, at least in this game, they don't actually die. I think the Kermans are somewhat indestructible, actually. But he's out of commission, though. I can't use him for a while. I think there's like a recharge. Yeah, he's labeled as a missing in action. So I think, like, I don't know if it's 3 real hours or 3 in-game hours he'll come back. But we'll just have to make do with Valentina. So, let's just say Reggie escaped the atmosphere, and that's how he came to our planet. He's hurtled through space and arrived at Earth. So now, we've got to have a different pilot going on. And I'm gonna turn the thrusters down on these bad boys again. All the way down to 60. I wonder, actually 70. Let's try that. Let's see, we got Valentina Kerman. Okay. I think we can still do this, you know? Reggie's out to finally have his adventures with us. That if you haven't seen already, go watch some of our music videos and everything on our channel, you know? Reginald, he's a recurring character in our lives. So, yeah. Hopefully you know who he is, and if not, hopefully you go check it out. Sorry, sometimes I just like to sit and admire the rocket I've made. Because, man, it really is like a dream of mine to one day go to space. Like, that would be phenomenal. Either on a return ticket or for a for sure guaranteed colony on Mars or something. That would be amazing. But I don't know if that's going to happen in our lifetime. Maybe commercial space travel if Elon gets everything going that he wants to, all his hopes and dreams. Let's get ready to launch. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we go a lot slower. Oh, we're picking up speed. Okay, it's not too bad. I think the issue last time is I only had my throttle for my next stage on half. I'm gonna put it on full blast and see how much that helps me. Maybe I need to like escape away from the earlier stage rockets quicker before they like collide into me. And I'm going the opposite direction than I really want to. We could still correct that. It's still pretty early in the phase. What's our fuel at right now? Oh, we still got a shit ton of fuel. Why is just that one rock? Oh, now the rest are heating up. Okay. So it's taking us a little bit longer to get up there this time, but maybe that's gonna be a good thing. Let's take a look on the map, how our orbit is looking. Okay. So it's going to pretty high. We're gaining a lot of velocity. I really wish I'd be able to turn more. Okay. Let's hope. Yup, I escaped them. Perfect. Okay, so now I have to get to the right orientation and then turn. And if I do this right, I should be able to pull my orbit, which is not quite an orbit yet, but my trajectory, I guess. Sort of bringing it around town where we need it to be. Start giving it some more horizontal momentum. Ooh, rotate a bit. Yeah, another thing is I've noticed sometimes when you come in from the map, you come way zoomed out from the spaceship. But I think maybe that's just because I'm still in a relatively minor scale of my builds as well, though. And I'm actually gonna cut my fuel since I have a decent amount of height and some horizontal momentum going a little bit. Not very much, but at least enough for my purposes. So I'm going to forward up time a little bit till I get closer to this top point right here. Maybe a little bit faster. We're definitely out of orbit right now. Which, I think it's definitely more efficient to start this stage lower down though, but I'm more go for the surefire, make sure you have a lot of power and you'll definitely get up there sort of route. Get down to the lower warp. Oh, we're not as close as I thought we were. Put it up a little bit more. And then we want to make sure we're mostly lined up with this mark right here. This yellow one right next to this circle right here. Yeah, this yellow circle. And then that way we can make sure we're going the proper direction for our orbit. We're going horizontally from the planet so that we can widen this out. How much fuel do I have left? Okay, I still have like half my fuel. I guess I can see it on this screen actually. That's relatively helpful. Alright, see we're widening it out. Widening it? My goodness. I really cannot speak sometimes. Oh well. It's funny though, when you're on the map, sometimes there's like the stereo audio for the rockets. So you like hit one random patch where it's like the thrusters are all quiet. Oh, we're about to form the orbit. I'm actually gonna stop. Even though we haven't fully formed it yet. We've gotten so far away from this apoapsis, which is the highest point in our orbit, that we're actually sort of working against ourselves. I'm going to speed up and try to get closer to it again. Because anywhere you put momentum, like along this orbit, it's going to extend or retract out the opposite side of the orbit. So if we keep doing it from right here, it's working to push this even further out, even though we don't want it to. We want to push this side further out. Since it's like sort of this side, it's, yeah, unfortunately doing some of this. Speed up time a little bit more, which is kind of risky, but what's life without risk? I mean, hell, we're in space after all. That's like the definition of risk right there. Our rocket is still intact. That's always good to see. It's always the worst when you hit the warp speed and then all of a sudden you start hearing explosions. That's never fun. Unless you launch rockets purposely to blow them up, which, you know, some people do, which is kind of demented, but if you do it with a satellite brain instead of a person, then it's not that bad, just a waste of money. Start going full blast again, and oh yeah, it's pushing that side right out. Alright, and I'm actually going to stop there since it's a relatively stable orbit now, going nicely around the world. I've reached orbit, which is always a crucial step. But the hard part about the cosmos, though, is not everything is where you want it to be when you want it to be. So we're going to have to make sure we're aligned when we try to push ourselves out. And this is a really bad placement. So I'm going to speed up time. We want it to be more like we're seeing the moon rise when we go into this view right here. Like we see it rising over this horizon. That's what I've seen online as like the best way to match your timing with the moon's orbit. And we're going straight enough compared to the moon. Like, I don't think that'll cause us any major issues. And if it does, we can correct it later on. Hopefully. Things don't always work like you want them to in space. Try to increase the time a bit more. A little risky hitting the 100 times, but let's see, where's the moon? Okay, so we probably want to be closer to like over here, probably. That's probably gonna be the best point. I might have slightly gone a little bit past. Okay. Oh no, I did. I should be able to get it to still work though. Go back to this map view. And we want to go prograde is the name of that mark I was talking about earlier. And this little bit of thrust I'm using to be able to move around is affecting our orbit. So, oh, I ran out of beam right then. And there is like an upgrade I can do for one of my buildings to where I can sort of like plan out my maneuvers and stuff like that more, and it'll show me like the consequences of what I'm gonna do before I do them. But I want to go old school, and we're just gonna start trying to branch our orbit off in this direction, and then once it's reached sort of the distance of the moon, we're gonna sort of wander it around a little bit up and down on the orbit so that we can try and get an event point where we sort of cross paths. Okay, we're getting close now actually. Right there, I'll stop. Okay. And even though I don't have that upgrade like I was talking about earlier, if there is going to be an event, it'll at least tell me. With like my current orbit, it'll tell me if there's going to be a pass by. So I can at least sort of know in that way. So let me see. I'm going to try to go, I think it's this direction. Full blast. Yeah. No, that might be the wrong direction. Oh dear. We just wasted some fuel. Oh, going too far? Oh, because we don't have the momentum to steer properly. Okay, so I'm gonna have to time this, which is interesting. So that when I pass over the mark I want, I'm just gonna full throttle it. And it should walk me that direction. Yes. Perfect. Okay, let's hope for an encounter. I am a little high compared to the orbit. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a distance, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We're starting to get pushed out a little bit in our orbit. I don't want that. We need to keep it smoothly sailing in this direction. I'm doing good on fuel steal, relatively. I'm gonna cut it a little bit. I think I need to go to this side. Orbital, like, physics and stuff really blows my mind about, you already have the momentum of just basically continuously falling around this planet. You're falling so fast that you miss the ground. That's what an orbit is practically. And it's really just you change the directions that you have momentum in, and that's how you can affect and change and move your orbit. So you literally just have to like right now I'm sort of just wasting fuel. I can actually probably get a little bit closer if I wanted to, even though I haven't really figured out an encounter. I could just cut fuel and then I'll pass by around here near where the moon should be. That's why it doesn't really make sense in a lot of science fiction movies and stuff when they say, oh, we don't have enough fuel to do that. When you're traveling through space, as long as you have some sort of object that you are gravitationally sort of in orbit with, then you can just set up where you want to go, get your momentum going, and then cut all fuel. And then you'll still just keep that momentum you have, since there's way less like air volume in space. Like there are gases and stuff floating around out there, of course. But compared to like our atmosphere, it's nothing. It's practically a vacuum. From what I understand, at least. Our timing still isn't great, but you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna head over towards the moon. Kind of see how fast it's going compared to us. We might still have an encounter. The game just hasn't recognized it yet. Maybe. Because even though we're not passing by super close, like because we're going slightly up and everything. I wonder if I could burn retrograde a little bit so I can bring this extension out. If I burn in reverse, I can shorten my orbit and hopefully, I was at the point on my actual monitor. Wow, that is hilarious. But this point right here will shrink if I decrease my velocity. So okay, I just gave myself enough fuel to get the movement going where I need it to be. Since I already set my pilot's controls to go where the direction I want it to go in. And then same trick, once I'm close, I'll go full blast. And then cut. Okay. So that's looking like I at least have a somewhat better chance of a moon encounter. Hopefully. If not, I'm gonna have to figure something out, but let's do a speed up on the time here. And like, it's also interesting to think about, you know, the astronauts out in space don't have the luxury of this little warp button up top. Like, they gotta sit through that shit. You know, if they're trying to take the months I believe it takes to go to Mars, they gotta be stuck in that ship for months. Like, that's just how it's gonna have to be. Unless we figure out some sort of faster than light travel in some crazy way, which I'm just not sure about, honestly, how well that's gonna work, at least anytime soon. So let me see if I can get away with speeding up time a bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Oh no, I'm definitely gonna miss. Oh, my timing was way off. Oh dear. Man, space once again is not kind to us. Out here thinking we're gonna see the moon. But it just said, bye bitch. Took the fuck off. I'm gonna have to be careful here. One thing I can actually do, make sure I have a safe return, is so right now my periapsis, which is the name for basically the lowest point in the orbit from the direction of the object you're orbiting. So right now it's pretty far out still, 500,000 meters, 500,000 meters. Pretty sure there's a much easier way to say that in kilometers, but okay. Maybe it's a setting I don't have set or something. Wouldn't surprise me. There are quite a lot of settings in this game. But what I can do is I can do the same thing again. Where if I can slow myself down, give myself less momentum in the forward direction, then, oh, I missed where I wanted to be. There we go. Then I can shrink my orbit down, not all the way till it's going into the planet. Hopefully I haven't yet. But see, that's perfect. It's enough that I'm actually going back into the atmosphere. And once I hit the atmosphere, the friction of the air is gonna safely decelerate me to the planet, like as like the best possible amount it can. speed up time once again. Honestly, sometimes when I have like those deep space missions going, or at least attempt to, I haven't really had a successful mission past the second moon. Ooh, let's go slow. Okay. Luckily, when you get close to the planet, it sort of automatically slows down your warp, which is very kind of them, I must say. But I'm not capable of moving myself anymore, unfortunately. I can't rotate myself around, I don't think. That sucks. But either way, I should still have a pretty safe return. Then we can launch one more mission and hopefully get to the moon. Now I'll pay a little more care in my setup and timing on my approach. Let's see how I'm looking on the map. And I think the magic number is below 70,000. So like we're looking perfect here. We're going to start hitting atmosphere very soon. Speed it up a little bit at least, because we're actually still pretty far out. But with the deep space missions though, sometimes, to continue on my thought from earlier, sometimes, man, I'll just let them go at just normal time speed. Honestly. Oh dear, I'm not the direction I really want to be. Oh, and my nose cone is kind of fucking me here. Ooh, that is the opposite of what I really want to happen. Okay, Valentina, I hope you survive. If not, hopefully Reggie is safe and secure. Not looking so good though, guys, to be honest here. Hopefully my parachute module doesn't burn up here at the tip of this. But at least it's pretty aerodynamic, the air friction isn't really hitting that as much. It's more hitting like these areas, especially as it wobbles. I just love how I specifically put a heat shield on for when it's going through orbit. Oh my god, is it escaping back out again? No fucking way. Do I have to do a fucking round trip? Oh, hell no. I don't know about this, Valentino. You might be stuck in space. This might be it for you. Oh, and I'm stuck on 4 times warp until I get out of the planet's influence. Oh, man. Let's see. I'm gonna go full... Nope, I think Valentina is stuck in space, guys. She might not be coming home anytime soon. But like I said though, the Kermans are somewhat indestructible. So they can survive out here for like a year of in-game time, I think, if I remember correctly. That's a long time. That's pretty insane to me that they would bring that much supplies to return. All right, let's see what happens this time. If we slow down enough, that will come down close enough to escape, or to not escape. Nope, we're actually... Oh, we're slingshotting around each time. So she's getting further and further, possibly. Unless it just went down again. Man, yeah. She's stuck in space. This is, ooh, sucks to be you, Valentina. I'm gonna have to go here to the Space Center. Ooh. Oh wait, maybe I have to leave the atmosphere before it will let me go to the space center. Then after that, Valentina's on her own. We can try to do a rescue mission. There are like docking procedures and stuff like that because you can make like space stations and satellites and all that. So I could possibly at some point try to do a rescue mission of Valentina, but oh god, are those difficult. I've seen people try to attempt those, like I've seen Sips on Twitch try to do a rescue mission, and I don't remember it ending very well for him. I think he got a second person stuck in space, or they exploded, both of them. I can't exactly remember for sure. What am I doing here, sitting here on ×1 speed? Let's crank that bad boy up. Those are rookie numbers. Let's just get Valentina a little bit further away from the planet. Rub the salt in for when we run away from her. That's mean. Oh man. Alright. And now, I believe, yep, we can go to the Space Center. Let's see if good old Reggie boy is available. We'll do one more mission, I think. If he is. He is! Good old Reginald. Alright. That's the good mojo we needed to get this mission done. Let me think. Do I need to do... You know what? Since I have some science, I'm going to take this moment, save myself possibly some future hassle, and I'm going to try to get a bigger nose cone, because those little suckers, I think, they kind of suck. And is that the right... Let me see. It's a little tough sometimes with all this different science stuff to unlock. It's a little bit difficult to make sure I can find the thing you're actually trying to get. Especially when it's like further on along things and you have like no clue what branch you gotta look down. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Maybe this is what I need? No. Let's go with this one. I think this one will work. I see a bunch of nose cones in there. Right, let's see if we got what we needed. Oh, that's even smaller. Okay. Did I only get small, very small, and tiny nose cones? Is that really what these fuckers gave me for that? Well, that is hilarious. Is that... Oh! But I got that! Okay. Perfect. Okay, actually... I need to delete all of these because when you have something set up with symmetry, you want to try and keep everything going on with it with symmetry. That way, if you got to adjust things, like right now I'm actually going to take out all of the fuel from this because it's not even the right type for this engine. I'm going to take all of that out so that there's no weight to it, or at least less weight. So I can put this nose cone on, and now... Perfect. That looks a lot better than it did before. Actually, something I forgot to turn on. You can actually see like where the center of mass and the center of aerodynamics are. You always want to have the aerodynamics lower than the mass from what I've seen. Like further down on the rocket. That's how you can like actually keep in control Though I wonder if having it too low kind of makes it harder for me to control. But I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm a dude who plays video games. Alright, let's get our pilot assists turned on. It'd be nice if there was an option to like have it automatically turned on. That would be awesome. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Nothing. I just need to launch. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I forgot we still got the slow boy settings. But I mean, they did it pretty well before. And I wonder if the better aerodynamics on the top there is actually helping me out right now. Because I'm getting a much more stable flight path, although it's a little too steep. Ooh, I'm having to really pull back in the opposite direction. Oh dear. Well, this might, in a way, be working perfectly for helping us get our orbit set up really low to start off with. Because that's actually, like, the most fuel efficient. So I might actually be a little early on the horizontalization. But I think I'm doing really good. I wish I was a little further out of the atmosphere though. Oh yeah, I am definitely too early on the turn, but sometimes, man, rockets and aerodynamics and all of that stuff, physics just has a mind of its own. The rocket wants to go that direction when there's all this thrust going on, it's gonna go that direction. But no matter what button I'm hitting on the keyboard. But physics be like that. Make sure I get the full thrust going. I'm hearing explosions, which isn't good, but it doesn't look like it's affected my rocket at all, actually. It's just the leftover parts. Ooh, look at that wobble! Oh dear. It's like an arrow flying through the sky. Okay, I gotta cut my thrusters for a moment. Holy shit. Okay, this is actually looking phenomenal. This might be my best approach yet, even though it's ended in sort of disaster on that last little bit there. But we're actually looking pretty good. I'm just gonna sort of let it do its thing till we get higher up. Maybe do the time up a little bit. Times 10 speed, yeah. I wonder, like, mathematically speaking, how the highest setting for time in this game stacks up compared to the speed of light. Like, I wonder how big the gap is, because I'm sure there's still a pretty decent sizable gap, you know. Because even though it's what, times, oh, that's times 100,000, which still probably isn't anywhere close to the speed of light, but maybe not as big of a gap as I'm thinking. I don't know. Got to put some effort the other way to make sure I actually stop my momentum when I want it to. Otherwise, once I get that turn initiated, it's just gonna keep turning forever. Really wobbling. Maybe I can bring the thrust levels down a bit. I wonder if I actually did have some damage to my rocket that I didn't realize, or if it's just such a wobbly boy. Look at it. It's not the greatest graphically, but it's still beautiful. Honestly. Like, it's nice to look at, even though it's a 10-year-old game. That's why, honestly, especially with like the videos, like I said earlier, that the developers have been putting out for the sequel for this game, like, I am so hyped. Like, I usually try not to let myself get too hyped for games, but nah, I'm on the hype train for this one. Choo choo. How's our orbit looking? Are we circling the planet yet? Nope. Let's give ourselves a little more thrust so that we sort of have stabilized our wobble. Poor Valentina. I wonder if I set Reggie up orbiting, if I just let it go for a long enough time, if they'll collide at some point. I'm gonna cut it there. Okay. Where's the moon? Okay, so we gotta speed up time and try to get into a good position for this. Speed up time more than that. Another way I've heard it explained, compared to like the coming over the horizon thing I talked about earlier for the right timing for the approach, is if you keep the moon at the 12 o'clock position, then it's when you're like sort of right in this area. So I'm actually going to slow down the warp. Trying to get a rotation started to get me aligned with where I want the thrust to go. And I think we have a decent shot of getting to the moon this time. Let me take a look at our positioning. Yeah, it's looking good there. We're about to be where we need to be rotationally wise. Not sure if that's like a valid sentence, but let's go for it. Full blast. Just for a second, just to stabilize me. And then we're gonna wait for the moon to cross the horizon. I'm gonna speed up time a little bit though. Hopefully we can get that perfect positioning going. Thought I saw it for a second, but it was just my mouse cursor and I was blinking. Dang, still hasn't popped up. Where's that rascally moon at? Still lining up where I should be. Huh. I am actually somewhat confused. Where's the moon? Looking at it on the map, I feel like it should be over in this direction somewhere. Unless I'm tripping. Space, man. Space is hard to navigate. That's all I can say. Direction is the sun on the map. Okay, so yeah, that's strange. I should be able to see the moon. Guess I gotta speed around for another pass, unfortunately. I don't know what happened there. We're gonna do it this time, guys. We got this. Reggie's got our back with the piloting skills. We just gotta help him out at the control center. Speed up time. Try to get some sight on this here moon. Really blows my mind that, like, humans are literally capable of things like this in real life. Like, this is crazy. There are humans alive who have seen this sight, but, like, of the actual Earth. There's no way I missed that moon again. Oh no, it should be coming up soon, hopefully. Where's that bad boy at? Yeah, it's interesting too, like, light is very directional in space. Because, like, we have our atmosphere to help diffuse the light out and stuff. But in space, it's just going in a direction. There's no way I missed my timing again. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm sorry, Reggie, that you might have to suffer the same fate as Valentina, but we're gonna do this. Oh, helps if I turn down the speed before I can actually try to control my dude. Okay. Try to get positioned in the right way. Without affecting my orbit too much. Oh, that's the wrong direction. But I should actually intersect with where I want to be, I think. I have to slightly adjust. Okay. How much fuel do I have? I still have a decent amount of fuel on this stage, so I should, if I can get out there, I should have a really safe return. You know what? I might even be able to just say, fuck it. Go to Minmus. That would be amazing. I do have the fuel for it. Just say fuck this moon and go to the cooler second moon. No, let's complete the mission we originally set out for. One more loop around, since I'm so late. Goddamn. Oh dear. That was way too fast. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna go for it. Don't fail me now, Reggie. Let's go to the moon. I might be too far this way. I might need to come this way more. That might be the issue. So we're pretty much for sure gonna at least reach the distance of the moon. That's 100% taken care of now. Now we just have to align the orbit how we need it. Let's see. I think it might be this direction. Oh, nope, that's not it. Okay, brought my distance back down. Ooh, wow, I did not mean to go that far out. I gotta make sure I don't have too much wobble when I engage full boost. Ooh, that was too much movement. Okay. I got to decrease my orbit. Oh god, I'm way overshooting the moon. Space is hard, folks. I know I keep saying that. But man, does this game really show you space is hard. Poor Valentina, just floating around forever. Man, sucks to be her. What's my plan of attack gonna be here? Oh, I just ran out of fuel on that stage. Okay. But this should be enough. I'm going to decrease my orbit here. Ooh. Oh shit. No, fuck. Come on, Reggie, we can do this. We can do this. I'm still aligned with the orbit. I just have to get a little further out again. Please let me find an encounter point. Come on. Come on, space. Come on, moon. So what am I doing? An hour and 20 minutes? I think if I can't make it on this one, I'm gonna have to call it. But I'm gonna give myself some more time to try and find an encounter point. You know what? I think that might work. Let's see how things go and if I can adjust my orbit as we get closer. So if we're at least relatively close, then there are adjustments I can do for sure. Speed up time here. Let's see. I might have to come the other direction. Did I run out of fuel? Oh no, there's no way. Why is it? Oh, I always do that. I always try to control my ship while it's in like the time warp mode, and it doesn't let you do that unless you're like within the atmosphere, because you're at such a low speeds. But this does do some trippy things to our orbit. Oh dear. I wonder what this is gonna make returning look like. Oh my god, are we straight up gonna reverse our orbit? I think we are. I am so down to see what the hell this does. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've never seen this far out. Holy shit. Let's try to rein in a bit. Oh, that's the opposite direction. Slowly we'll rotate around where we need to be, like usual. Oh man, this is a trip. I've never had an approach like this. This is so strange. What's this gonna do? Is that gonna take it the direction I want it to go? No. I need to go the opposite side. You really gotta be patient to be an astronaut. Like, for real. This is crazy. And I should have a safe return. Okay, so this is the orbit I'm gonna go with. Oh shit, no, I'm way off there. Oh dear, okay. You know what, Reggie? You're just gonna have to get funky with it. This is your orbit. We're not reaching the moon today, guys. I'm sorry to say. We have failed NASA. Or it's actually the Kerbal Space Agency, but fuck it, it's NASA today. But we're bringing Reggie home. That's the important part. We ain't losing Reggie again. He's making it down to that solid ground. Oh dear, let's see what happens. We might have lost. Oh, thank goodness we didn't lose Reggie right now. Because sometimes, if you have unexpected encounters with the moon from funky angles, it will literally just like launch you out of the solar system. It really will. Like, I've lost quite a few things to just breaking out. It's weird how sometimes it can slingshot it in such a way that like it even breaks the sun's orbiting the sun. Like that, man, blows my mind. It goes to show as well how smart scientists are to be able to like do this relatively safely. Ooh, bring that speed way down since I'm getting close. Ooh, that's not gonna be great for a return. I might have to give myself actually a little bit of speed here. Oh shit. Almost wobbled myself. Okay, that's the marker I want. And full blast for a second. Oh shit. Is that the direction I want to? Okay. I at least extended it out to the ocean. And then, though I might need to, even though I just did all of that to increase my speed, I might actually get in position to, as I get closer, really do some sort of active braking. Got its butt pointed towards the planet, which is good. When we eject our back booster, it's actually also gonna help slow us down. It's gonna eject the booster backward, but us forward. But opposite because of the direction we're pointing, so yeah. Let's maybe, how far are we out still in space? I can put the speed up a little bit, and it shouldn't be too dangerous. Oh, it's not letting me. How fascinating. I wonder if it's because I'm too close to the planet. So once I reach around like 100,000 meters elevation, I probably am gonna have to eject, but I can at least work on slowing myself down some. Which isn't a bad thing, since Reggie's coming in sort of steep. And that scares me, because we got a lot of energy coming in from all the way out from the moon, you know? You pick up a lot of speed when you're slingshotted by gravitational objects. Actually going to cut the boosters before hatch. Okay, let's see how this is looking. We're going into the ocean. That's always nice. Let's speed up time. We're hitting the atmosphere now at this point, I believe. Ooh, I hear explosions, but I think that might have just been some science equipment. Oh, we're going quick. I might have just sort of fucked my parachute. Ah. He's out there swimming somewhere, but we lost sight of him. We'll pick him up, though. We'll pick him up. He's coming back. He'll swim to shore. He'll swim to shore and find his way home. day 10. So it's only taken us 10 days to get Reggie crashed twice and Valentina stuck in space. Very nice. NASA wishes they had my turnaround on rockets. And I hope you enjoyed the stream today, though. It's a shame we didn't get to the moon, but hopefully I can come back again some other time, and we can try and make it up there. I'll maybe learn some more things and get used to more things. Maybe actually upgrade the tracking station so I can actually like plan my maneuvers and shit better. Let me know if there's any games you want to see me play, stream. You know, any games. Any new interesting games coming out? Yeah, just let us know. Yeah, let us know what other stuff you want to see from the channel down in the comments and everything. And make sure you check out all our other social media. Yeah. And on that note, check us out on Facebook and Instagram at JusticeBand, and on Twitter. Ooh, I did the old one. Oh my goodness, guys, that's a throwback. That's hilarious. I haven't done that for a while. On that note, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JusticeBand. Hope everyone out there has a wonderful week.